He's done, yeah. Decided to make another video simply because the last one felt good to get it out. It was cathartic as I thought it might be. And, decided to do another one because I'm still frustrated with Arsenal. I'm still frustrated with Arteta, and as you can see from the thumbnail, I got sent that picture. Apparently, it's doing the rounds. I think some of the might be league gunner or league judge. I don't know, league judges maybe. I'm not sure. Let's put this picture up of a Chelsea fan. Um, Basically saying, if you don't win something with us, fuck off, And it struck me as interesting because the first video I did, I mentioned that no other top team in world football, not just in England, in world football, would would go 5 years without winning a trophy and not replace the manager. And Chelsea fans are already thinking, geez, you better get your arse in gear. We demand success. And we've had it for 5 years. And like I said on the last video, I include Tottenham in that big so-called big club that would sack their manager if he hasn't won something in 5 years. If they do it every 2, 3 years, they sack the manager and they haven't won anything in 20 something years. But they still hold higher standards than us. And Chelsea hold higher standards than us. And we consider ourselves a bigger club than the two of them. But they hold higher standards. It doesn't make sense to me. And I'm not one for just replacing managers all the time. I think Chelsea, I like their success, but you do want a bit of stability and you don't want a new brand of football every 6 months. But there has to be a happy medium. There has to be somewhere in between where you go, okay, you've had your time. And he has had his time. Arteta's had his time. Like, he's gone backwards this season. And it's going to keep going backwards. There's no way he's stopping this slide. Not with Havertz and G.I. Joe looking motherfucker Marino trying to stop the slide. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. And in that 5 odd years that Arteta's been in charge, and the Chelsea fans have been getting a bit, annoyed. They've won a Champions League, they've won a Europa League, they've won a Super Cup, and they've won the FIFA Club Cup. They have beaten our entire European record in that time, and they're not satisfied, And we're going out to Villarreal's, and we're going out to Sportings, and we're going out all the cups, and we're going and falling out of the league with a whimper this year, And I'm still enraged by his press conference of Arteta's press conference of if we had to play, if we hadn't had the injuries and the suspensions, you know, it'd be a different story. Any other team that has these injury suspensions would be mid-table. I went through it in the last video how insulted it is to the players that were there. Um, but in the last two games, we've only really been missing two starters, Havertz and Saka, because Trossard starts a lot of games and the rest of the team was fully fit. So does he think that two players being back would be a 13-point difference that we've fallen behind? It's insanity. It's delusional, is what it is. It's absolutely delusional. You expect to see him. That's the type of thing that someone says in a padded cell. That when they're that delusional, they smear it on the wall and shit. You know, Injuries, suspensions, it, and everybody swallows it up. Well, not everybody, but the vast majority swallow it up. And that's why he keeps getting away with it. That's why he keeps getting away with it. They're all swallowing it up. We got the PSV game coming up, and all the fellow delusional fans are, oh, which Madrid team would you like? They, PSV are favourites for that game. They're favourites for that game. We can't score. The only way we beat them is a drab 0-0 draw over there, and then nick a goal from a set piece, which we haven't scored since I think it's early December. Right, we scored that. Our lethal weapon set pieces, they're gone. Maybe a penalty, something like that. We might we get a penalty, and then like who's going to take it? Odegaard, is it? You know, if we could beat them on penalties, if we go to penalties, I don't see us getting through easily. Um, and I don't know which would get Arteta in more trouble if we went out to PSV, if we still had the injuries, or if we had players back and Real Madrid spanked us 6-1 on aggregate. Um, so it doesn't really make a difference. There's no way we're winning that competition. People said, "Oh, but Chelsea won it with a crap team and they beat Bayern on penalties." Yeah, but they still had Fernando Torres and they still had Drogba. He might have been old, but they had Drogba and they had Solomon Kalou and they had, you know, Ashley Cole and all these players. You know, they weren't that poor. The Liverpool team that won it in Istanbul was the worst team to ever win it, you know, but they still had a bit of firepower. It wasn't very good firepower, but it was firepower. And they had the Anfield factor, they had all that stuff, you know. It, Arteta would do his press conference and say, "Oh, we need the crowd more than ever before the game. We need the crowd. We need the crowd to for a crowd is meant to be entertained. If you They can't just switch it on. You have to get them excited. They're not a fucking organ grinding monkey. You can't just expect them to come and yeah, let's go. We're playing shit. Last 2 months we're playing crap, but yeah, I'm up for the game. You have to give them something to cheer for. A bit of attacking football. Take a few shots. That's all we want. A few shots, even if it skims the post. Oh, that'll get us up. Don't be demanding that the fans are up all the time. Oh, we need the fans more now. Give them something to cheer for. Give them something to cheer for. And oh, next year, we're at this next year again. He needs his money to spend. Like he hasn't spent 800 million. He needs his money. I don't want it. If we have a war chest, as being in the papers and stuff like that, I don't want him spending it. I want him gone before it's spent. I don't want another six defenders signed and a whole midfielder and Sesko, another Havertz. That's all he is. Oh, he works hard and he's tall and play long ball and track back. You know, this isn't the 60s. You don't need a big donkey up front. But he'll spend it and he'll blow it and start next season terribly. And by Christmas, he'll be saying, "Oh, we need signings in January." All the fans, we need signings in January. He needs to be backed. He needs to be backed in January. He signed 33 players. That's three first 11s, and he hasn't got it right. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the excuses all the time, and that we're meant to accept it. I had someone say to me recently that he's one of the best managers in the world. What? How's he one of the best managers in the world? It makes no sense. And Chelsea are not happy with Maresca. I mean, again, like I said, that they're probably going a bit overboard with that. But I mean, at least the demand for standard is there. People were waving signs to get Wenger out when he was winning three FA Cups in his last 5 years with no budget whatsoever, having to sell his best players every summer, replace them with kids. Yeah, you know, I don't know. I suppose you reap what you sow, and for the fans that keep demanding that Arteta stays, I mean, you're going to get what you deserve. You're going to get nothing. You're going to get boring football. No trophies, and you're going to get ready-made excuses. We created many situations. We dominated the ball. I don't know how we didn't win that. I love these guys. Change the fucking record. Change the record at least, and take some responsibility. How narcissistic do you have to be to never take responsibility for this mess? You've been given all the tools to make it a success, all of them. And your best tools were already there. Saliba was there, signed by Emery. Saka came through the U team. Nothing to do with you. They're the tools that were already there. And then you got rid of loads of them. You got rid of Aubameyang. Oh, he answered me back and he was late for training. You got rid of Ozil. Oh, he didn't track back. You got rid of Emily Martinez. Went on to win a World Cup. You spent the whole time trying to replace him ever since. Oh, he's got an attitude. Answers me back. This isn't Nazi Germany. You know what I mean? People have an opinion that's different to yours. But that's what we do. We sit back and we take it, and it's in our blood. And I don't know what else we can do. But like of course, I'll still back him. I'll still be, nervous as shit in the day of the Champions League game. And probably by the time it kicks off, I'm like, you know what? Maybe we can go on and win this thing because I'm an Arsenal fan too. Regardless of me giving out about them. I have those moments too where I go, "Do you know what? You never know. We were to get through. Madrid won't be able to break us down, and we could counter attack them. Then we're in the semis, and it's not gonna happen. I'll G myself up for it, and just to be let down. A day in the life of an Arsenal fan. You know. But it's what we do. It's why we keep coming back for more, isn't it? Um, but yeah, so I just said I'd hop on and make a quick video because that I found that Chelsea sign interesting. I found it to basically be what I had said the other day, and again, I don't know if anyone's ever going to watch this, and if they do, uh, leave a comment and tell me if you think there's a top side or a so-called top side especially in England, but even in Europe or in world football, that would go 5 years without a trophy and not even consider replacing the manager because I don't think Arteta's job's in any way under threat. Um, and I don't mean that wouldn't be sacked just by the board. I mean that the fans wouldn't push back as well, and the fans wouldn't start protesting. The fans, you wouldn't see a few signs. I haven't seen an Arteta sign, Arteta out sign anywhere. You barely see it online. So yeah, I'd be interested to know if anyone could think of one. And I'm not one to just get up in arms if someone makes a valid point. I go, oh yeah, I never thought of that. Well, thanks for that. I like a good debate, but yeah. So if you can think of one, stick her in the comments, and we'll have a nice discussion about it. Thanks.